Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
What's up, people? Welcome to our brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. Me, Adam Hunter, here with the man, the funniest person I've ever met in my life. For real.
You are.
Greg Romero Wilson is the funniest person I've ever met in my life. And then I'm waiting for McCorkle, Don Frye. If he ever wakes up, he'll be here, allegedly. And it's going to be a good show. It looks nice. You got an audition or something? What's going on?
I actually was making a little promo video for my upcoming online workshops. So you caught me right. I was like, "Oh shit, it's noon. I gotta go do the filthy stuff."
Isn't it sad? Like whenever we look nice, it's because we're doing something other than like what we're actually doing. Oh, you look nice.
Why would I dress up for this? I'm not. I don't even know if people watch the video part of this anyway. I know they listen to it. Yeah. Most of the time, I got on a cap because my hair is a mess. You know, I'm wearing like a sweatshirt because it's cold. I mean, it's just. You know, but yeah, so I'm trying to make a little video here and
Greg,
took some time out.
Man, I knew you 20 years ago. You look better now.
Can I tell you, you're starting to look more and more like a dad.
Thank you. I think that's good or bad. I don't know. Whatever. As long as it's a dad that other girls want to fuck. You know, as long as
I think you're a dilf. I think you're a dilf.
As long as I'm a fuckable dad, I'm happy. You know.
Can I tell you something? That's all I've ever wanted is I don't. You know, I'm married. I don't want to cheat on my wife. But I would like girls to still want to fuck me. You know, I don't want to fuck them. I just want to go back to my room and masturbate to the notion that girl would have fucked me. You know what I mean?
1,000%. As long as girls go, oh, I'd fuck that girl. I'd fuck what's the name's dad. As long as I'm like, you know, like that. Not,
exactly.
Well, I mean, not. Well, I don't want them to be that young. When they're like 23 or something. You know.
Sure.
Of course. Don Frye's with us, I believe, right?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. The legend.
Like Don Frye, I still get girls that text me going, hey, do you have Don Frye's number? Like chicks always want to bang Don Frye. He could be at his deathbed and chicks are still going to be like, oh, I'd fuck Don Frye. He just has that like that masculine energy that chicks want to bang. Am I right, Don?
Oh, hell, can you blame them? You say, look at me. Listen to me, you know?
Now, I do feel like if you would have been like how you were now in the 90s, it would have been over. Because in order to get to you back then, girls needed like a VHS and they had to write a letter or they had to go where you were. You'd be like if now Don Frye was Don Frye, he'd be so much more accessible to women.
Yeah, he'd be just running through them left and right.
But he probably wouldn't figure out how to use the internet. So I don't know. I think he would still be fucked. You know?
Remember that cologne English Leather?
No.
There used to.
Yeah,
it was like,
I remember that.
Remember that, Don? Exactly. You used to be one of those ones you would get in like a gift set from like Brute and Old Spice. There was English Leather. If English Leather were a man, it'd be Don Frye.
So it's like when my wife did the registry for the wedding, I didn't know what was on it. And like my friends were like, I know you didn't put one thing on this fucking thing because there's nothing on this thing that you would ever even know about, you know, except for the remote. Like somebody got me the remote, like a Fire Stick. I think Alan Jubon. He's like, I figured maybe that's what you put on. I didn't even put the Fire Stick on it. Like I had no idea what any of this shit was. I didn't even know.
I think we got you a gravy boat or some shit like that. Like it's on the list. It's on the list. We're fucking buying it. So.
Oh God. Meanwhile, so
a fucking gravy boat.
Meanwhile, how is
like one of those old creamers that was in the shape of a cow.
Right, exactly. That's exactly right. It was all shit like that on the list. I'm like, okay, what do you want? I don't know.
But now I like find stuff. I'm like, this is nice. Where did we get this? It was on the registry. I'm like, oh. Anyway, so I mean, look, you're talking to a guy who thought hors d'oeuvres was pronounced hors d'oeuvres. So I literally was at a restaurant going, I'll take the hors d'oeuvres, and they're like,
oh my god, that's so bad. I also didn't realize soup du jour meant soup of the day until I was at least 25. I was like, what? I was like, so what flavor is the soup du jour? I thought that was a flavor, like French onion or some shit.
Yeah, there's things that
some days it is.
And you're right. But that's exactly. I was always surprised when it wasn't the same. Everyone was like, I thought this was soup du jour.
My wife looks at me sometimes. She's like, "How'd you get through life?" I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. I remember one time I put like a bagel in like the toaster, like the whole bagel. I put the
smart. Yeah, and bagels are thick too. You probably had to really smash it down in there. That must have been a lot of fun to try and pry out, all burned at the edges.
All right, what'd you get for Christmas, Greg?
What did I get for Christmas? I got a lovely new watch. The wife bought me a beautiful new watch, and a few other small things. I mean, our major gift to ourselves was the trip to London. So that was the major gift. That's what we did.
And Don, you?
Oh, I got some cigars and some cigars and bottle of booze. And, good man stuff, some bullets.
Some English leather.
Some bullets.
Yeah.
Who got some bullets?
A gallon of English leather.
A gallon of English leather, yeah.
Do you even have a gun or just throw them at people and it's like, that's how fast they are? Like,
I just chew them up and spit them out at them,
There you go.
Man, so my wife got me a speaker for the shower, which is nice because I think it's going to hear my music probably from my phone, and then shelves because my garage has this shit everywhere, and I'm like, we could make this to such a nice little workout spot, but now I got to learn how to put up the shelves. So I got like a task, basically. But it is what it is.
Women love that. Women love coming up with shit for men to do, don't they?
Not my wife. My wife gets stuff and is like, the best thing I can do is get out of her way. Yeah. She's the project person. She's like, because she knows if I do it, she's just going to have to redo it later. So for me, I'm a lucky guy. She likes doing all that shit herself. The one thing she did, the big gift she got me, which is kind of the combo gift, was my birthday Christmas gift, was she did buy me an electric bicycle, which I don't know if you guys have ever ridden an electric bike, but they're super fucking fun. Yeah. We rode them when we were in Maui earlier this year, and we were like, oh my God, these are so awesome. They're hilarious. So she bought me one, and they're not cheap. Let me tell you something, they're very expensive. So that was the major gift this year.
So like, do you even bang your wife or you just throw her the vibrator? Just like she's gonna have to do it all over herself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's in charge of it. Exactly. I'm like, let me know when you're done, and then I'll jump in there and I'll finish. I let her do the whole routine. I'm not even there. Yeah, I'm just the big finish. That's it.
You just jump around the bed going, we did it.
Totally. Like, I'm not even in the room. I'm like, okay, you get started. I'll be just text me when you're ready. And okay, come on in. And then I come in there and then that's it.
My wife buys gifts for all her family because we always go there. I have no idea what she buys. And then they open it and they're like thanking me. They're like, you shouldn't have. I'm like, I didn't. I had no.
I promise you, I didn't. I didn't do any of this. Yes.
By the way, so I had to work on a cruise ship last week, and we weren't allowed off the ship because of COVID, right? So we got to Mexico. The guests were allowed off, but we weren't allowed. Which I'm like, first of all, so now why would you want us to get off the ship? I think we can't even get into Mexico right now. That's how bad America is. So like, no, you can't even get into, and then I had to do 7 shows, right? 3 30-minute PG shows. And the same people kept coming back to every show. I did 4 different 30-minute dirty shows. That I can do because I can do a lot of crowd work and yada, yada. But I ran out of jokes at the 1 hour, 15 minutes of PG jokes, you know?
Right,
like,
yeah, exactly.
So it was like, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas?
You just turned into Comedy Santa.
The entire show was me making fun of people's Christmas gifts. But they loved it. I mean, they were like, they had a great time. I made it funny, but geez Louise, that was not easy. At one point, like sometimes like I'll, like a dirty joke I'll make clean, right? So I was looking at jokes that I hadn't done, and like, so I did a joke about how, you know, women don't wear too much makeup. You know, I knew one girl that wore so much makeup, we would take showers together and it would bleed all over her face. At first I wanted to kiss her, then she became Kiss, right? That's the joke, right? So, but I messed it up. I'm on a clean show. So the clean show, I always go, yeah, one time I was outside in the rain with a girl and it started raining and it bleeded. But I was like, I forgot. So I was like, yeah, I took showers with the girl. I'm like, she took a shower and I waited outside because you have to get clean, people. Make sure you the crowd was dying, thank God. And it was like, oh, geez. So, yeah, that was and then, of course, and then I get on the ship and I go to my room and there's a comic in there. The comic took my room, basically. He was in another room, so he took the good room. And he was butt naked when I walked in. I was like, I walk in, he's like, oh! I'm like, great. First thing I see is like a 60-year-old naked comic, right? And he's like, oh, and he's like, I got it. So my room had a bunk bed. So now I have like,
oh my God.
And this guy was like 6'4", so I was like, all right, I'm not going to be like, hey, that's my room. I'm not going to fight him for the room. Let him have the room, you know? But now I'm in a bunk bed, and they block out all the porn.
Wait a minute, was he an Australian comic?
No.
Okay.
His nice guy. His name is Chi Chi Man or something. He's been on like Leno like 6 times or whatever. So then then they block off porn on the ship. So now I'm like, that's the one thing you need when you're by yourself all day is. So I had to go on Twitter to find porn, but it's only 2 minutes 20 seconds the videos. So now I'm like racing.
So you had 2 minutes extra to just sit around and watch the video after you finish.
Fucking sad, man. It's and then the night before I took an edible. I did my that weed show. I took you ever take one of these liquid edibles that you drink?
I think that's a tincture, I think is what they call that. But,
oh my God. Like I took a regular edible and this drink thing.
Oh my God, that's too much.
I couldn't move. Literally, I told my wife, I'm like, I don't think I can make the ship. She's like, you're leaving in a day. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, I can't move. I go, if I can't move, call the hospital in 6 hours, because I literally cannot move any part of my body. And then I was fine 12 hours later. But geez, man,
that's why I don't fuck with edibles, man, because you can't. I mean, you think you get the dosage, and then it can just wham, and it's in you. There's no getting it out. There's no drinking coffee. There's no taking a shower. You are along for the ride until it's fucking over, man. I hate that shit.
Don, you ever do an edible?
Yeah, I won't do it again.
There it is. Thank you.
I was fucked up for a week.
A week?
Yes.
Yeah, a week.
Wow. Don,
apparently you do get used to edibles, sort of like smoking weed, so that after a while you're like, oh yeah, I love edibles, but I'm not willing to put in the work to get to that level with edibles. Fuck edibles. I'm not, I took some with me on the flight just in case, and I never even touched them. I was like, I don't want to be too dosed on a fucking flight.
This liquid edibles next level. I was like, I'm sitting there going, I can't. What if I can't do anything? I literally can't move. I cannot move. I've never, I can't move. How am I going to drive? I got to go to the gym, this and that.
But I would have loved to have been in your head for those 12 hours. That must have been quite a journey.
Oh, my God. But the shows themselves, I was actually proud of myself for doing 7 different 30-minute shows. I was, like, legitimately proud. Like, because that's not a
that is not easy. You need a lot of material to pull that off, baby.
Yeah, I was really, really, I was really happy. I was super happy. All right, so we didn't talk about the Tyron Woodley fight. I know people probably heard about it.
Quit calling it a fight.
You think he threw that fight?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, you said it. He didn't throw any punches again. Like, what else do you need to see? This guy, but he got a huge check, which is what he was paid for.
$2 million plus pay-per-view. But you think he let the guy knock him out?
Yes.
Don,
we discussed this. This is exactly what we said.
Don, did you watch the fight?
No. All right.
Me neither. Thank you, Don.
So Don came in. All right. So Tyron came in with 10 days notice. He was getting $2 million. Jake Paul gave him a Rolex for the fight. That was a little weird, right? So then they had the first. It was pretty competitive. It was both of them weren't throwing punches really. Crowd was booing. Tons of holding. It was a
crowd was booing. Sounds great. It was so worth it.
The other fight was good. The one with the football player, the Frank, whatever his name is, that fight was great. Right? So now the crowd's booing him out of the thing. All of a sudden, 7th round comes in. Tyron drops his hand, and Jake just fucking blasts him. Tyron falls flat. His legs went in different directions, his feet. He was out. Then he woke up, and he's like, I wasn't done. And, I mean, he was done. It was a crazy knockout. There was a million memes about it. Tyron himself was a pretty good sport about it. He went on Instagram and said, anyone that makes the best meme of me, I'll give $5,000 to, which was a little strange. I thought I thought maybe he would take it a little differently. Even Daniel Cormier.
Well, you know, when you're paid and the contract says, okay, 7th round, come out and lower your hands so I can punch you in your face, and then you get up and check how long you were out on your new Rolex.
There was a thing but look, I don't think it was fixed. I don't think Tyron would fix the fight, but there was a thing where Tyron did he moved his hand a little bit. Stop. It was fixed.
We said it. We described what was going to happen, and then it happened. And we didn't even watch the fucking thing. I mean, you have to stop giving this any credence. Come on.
I don't think so. Then afterwards, Jake Paul called out Nate Diaz and Masvidal. Now, two guys that both fought at 155. Now they fight at 170, but this guy's 195 pounds, walks around at 210, 220. He's got to fight a boxer, and be a guy in his weight class, because him beating up 55-pounders that have UFC guys that are past their prime. I mean, not that Masvidal and Nate Diaz are, I guess they're past their prime. It's making the sport look bad. I get angry. I don't want to see it. It's building up Jake Paul. It's all bad. The whole thing is bad. But at the same time, you know, these guys get $2 million thrown in their face or more because they already got $2 million plus pay-per-view. I can see why they would do it. But I don't like any of it. Greg? Okay, fine. Don, what are your thoughts?
Hell, buddy, I wish he'd call me and offer me a $4 million fight.
Yeah, but you would never throw a fight, right, Don?
What? $4 million, I'll drop my hands in the 7th round.
See, exactly. That's exactly right. Everyone's willing to get. I mean, listen, I'll fucking throw a fight for $4 million. I'll do it for $1 million. I don't fucking care. But that's what it is. And that's why. Why do you think he got a guy that he knew he paid off once so he could pay again? Nobody was clamoring for a rematch of that fucking bullshit. This whole thing, it's disgusting. It's bullshit.
Even worse, in Khabib's new organization, he has a couple fights that he signed. He has Kevin Lee fighting Diego Sanchez. I don't like this fight at all for Diego Sanchez. Diego Sanchez has lost, 18 rounds in a row, whatever he's lost. He's gotten beat by, he lost at least, 9 rounds in a row, but he hasn't looked good. He hasn't won a fight in a while. He just battled COVID. He finally dropped that crazy cult leader. Kevin Lee is still a dangerous man. Very dangerous man. A very good fighter. I don't know why they're making this fight. It's not going to be competitive, and I don't want to see Diego get hurt anymore than he's been hurt. And I don't think this does anything for Kevin Lee's legacy of beating up Diego Sanchez. I don't know what's going on here. Why are we doing this?
Is this has he started his own fighting league?
Khabib has the Eagle FC, Eagle Fighting Championship. And he signed Rashad Evans is fighting Gabriel Checkout, who's a good fighter. Rashad's another guy that, I love Rashad, but I don't want to see him take any more damage. And then he fighted Kevin Lee versus Diego. And then he also had Bigfoot Silva against somebody that was amazing, but that fight's off, thank God. Tyron Spong, who's one of the best kickboxers. Bigfoot Silva's been knocked out 9 times in a row. So I don't know what Eagle FC is doing? Can we get some younger guys or guys in their prime? Or come on.
It seems like they start. First of all, it seems like fight leagues are becoming like cryptocurrency. And anybody who just doesn't want to actually earn it just opens their own and starts their own fucking fight league. And it also seems like it's, they want to do it to develop the younger fighters and build their reputation. Yeah. But the only way to get people to tune in is to have a few names, quote unquote names, that people want to actually see fight. And that's how you wind up with guys like Diego Sanchez, who's, well past his prime, has taken a shit ton of damage, probably should not be fighting anymore, but obviously they're giving him a nice paycheck, so why not go over there if he can bring a few eyeballs with him? I mean, I get what they're doing, but this is getting out of control.
Have him fight a guy like Diego versus what's his name, Felony, or the Crazy Horse, somebody who also is on a losing streak. Kevin Lee, yeah, granted he lost a couple fights, he's lost to the top guys. He also fought at 170 his last time. I think he fought D-Rod, who's a fucking monster. He's only losing to monsters. I mean, 2-5. He fought Oliveira a couple fights ago. Like, what are we doing here, Kevin?
I don't know what. I mean, they obviously must be offering him a ton of money to go over there to make it worth his time. But I mean, again, it's just people trying to buy eyeballs. I don't think it's going to work. I think the thing will. I mean, not all these can't all remain solvent. Half of them have got to go away. This is getting out of control. You know what? I think it's time to start the MMA Roasted Fight League.
Don,
we're gonna have the bet. Yeah, Don is gonna be in the opening night fight versus a feral cat. That is the opening night fight, and Don, you will not be allowed to use milk.
Don, are you in?
Bummer, man. Only one cat.
You know what? Let's throw in 3 cats. Don versus 3 cats.
Make it interesting. Yeah, make it interesting.
And then I heard
Hector Jr. 100-pound cat.
There you go. Yeah, Bobcats. We'll throw in. It'll be Bobcats.
Are we gonna have Hector Jr. in there too, or what?
Yeah, Hector Jr. Everybody's gonna. I want to fight in the new league. No, I want to. Yes, no, I want to take on the elites. You bring me the elite, and I want to beat them all like little sheep, like the little ba. And that is the new fight league, the MMA Roasted Fight League.
All right, you're in. But by the way, so what was I going to say? Speaking of Bobcats, off topic. Have you watched Tiger King 2?
No.
Dude, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I'm not.
Hates it. It's gotten such bad reviews. I haven't even bothered to turn it on.
I'm not watching it. I'm not watching Tiger King 2. It's like it's the Tiger King 1, except you hate everybody. Like there's not one ridiculous. Like Joe Exotic was the one guy that you end up liking, sort of, for some odd reason. And the girl we had on the podcast who lost her arm.
Yeah.
Everyone on this show is an awful person. It's the worst. But you can't believe how fucked up these people are. They're unbelievable. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then they hire these guys to find out if what's her name killed her husband. One guy literally says armchair detective. He's like, I'm an armchair. Then the kids, the guy's kids, Don, who died, his 3 daughters, that they hire a lawyer who's like the funniest lawyer ever, who's basically the guy from Breaking Bad, but like in like real life. So she goes on Dancing with the Stars, Carol Baskin.
Yeah, Carol Baskin.
And he takes out a commercial saying, do you have any information on Carol Baskin's killing her husband? They aired during Dancing with the Stars. With the kids all like this.
Wow, that is crazy.
Dude, it's unbelievable. Then then they hired that guy. Then the kids fire everybody. They hire a guy who's a what's it called again? He's a detective. He's a fortune detective. Not what's it called again? When you think
psychic?
Yeah, they hire a psychic detective.
Oh, so it got even more legitimate. This is great.
The psychic detective, he's like, I can feel that someone was murdered here. And he starts crying. Dude, the whole thing is fucking insane. Like, you can't believe people exist like this. And then you're like, oh, dude, Joe Exotic was a cop. He used to be a cop. And then he was like stripping. He was a stripper for the mayor. I mean, it was you got to see it. If you have a couple hours to fucking yeah. Anyway.
I got to tell you, you kind of just talked me into it. I think I'm going to fire it up now.
By the way, so Chael Sonnen he didn't get arrested. He got a ticket in Vegas. He got detained in Vegas for beating up 5 guys. I spoke to Chael about it. So I guess somebody was harassing his wife. Some dude was making fun of his wife's tits or saying all kinds of shit to him in Vegas, some drunk guy. And I guess Chael went to the guy's room and was like, hey, you got a problem? Started like wrestling the guy, like threw him down. And then guys jumped on him. But now it comes out to Chael beat up 5 guys. So, yeah, it was like.
And by the way, 5 Guys is one of my favorite burger places.
Yeah, it's my favorite. Yeah, I love that place.
I mean, Don.
Exactly. Well, apparently he beat up a fucking ham sandwich. So, no, 5 Guys is fantastic. So I feel sorry for that location.
I mean, Don, what would you do if somebody was like harassing your wife and her tits? You did the right thing. He did the right thing, right?
You're damn right he did. You're damn right. That's the problem, you know. People get fucking rewarded for being assholes, you know, and they need to get punched in the fucking face. And without, you know, there's no reason for Chael to go to jail or be sued or anything like that. Those guys started this shit, and then they got what they deserved.
100%. I think that's why he got a ticket. I think once the officers sorted it out, they're like, "Well done, sir. Here's the Vegas ticket. You just show that to your person at the airport. They'll take care of it." But this is the problem, I think, with being a famous fighter is, you know, people see you out in Vegas, and then, you know, to them, this is their shot at the title. They've been training back home at their little home gym, and they're like, "Oh, I think, you know what? I think I could take him now." And now this poor guy has to fight 5 dudes because one of them thinks that he's fucking got what it takes. It's just it's the dark side, I think, of being a famous fighter.
First of all, though, his wife is. I've hung out with him and his wife. Him and his wife.
Don't win.
Hold on.
They fucking, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They get their ass kicked, then they sue.
Dude,
Right.
Chael's one of the funniest people. So I go to Oregon to do a show. I'm like, "Hey, Chael, I'm in Oregon at Harvey's. You want to come to the show?" He goes, "Where are you at?" Right? I told him the hotel. He shows up with his wife in a party limo, like one of those huge.
Nice.
He goes, "Hop in." So me and my friend hop in. Takes me to the nicest steakhouse like in Oregon. You have to wear a jacket. He had to give me a jacket. Me and Aaron a jacket. He's like, "It's on me." I ordered the salmon, and he gave me the hard because I don't want to get too full. He goes, "Who eats the salmon at a steakhouse?" Like, he just gave me the hardest time about that. We went out. We had the best time. His wife got drunk and started like heckling. Like, we're in the party van, and she's like doing my act in front of me, going, "Hey, what do you do? What do you like?" It was the cutest thing ever. We got pizza at the end. He tipped the pizza guy like $100. He's the coolest, nicest person. Chael is like one of the best people I've ever met in my life. So for him to get pissed off.
He's a good guy. Chael's a really good guy.
Yeah.
Well, and Chael has a lot on the line too. I mean, he's a commentator, spokesperson for UFC. So you got to really piss him off for him to risk everything just to beat your ass. You know, I have a feeling he probably tried to walk away from that and just realized, fuck this guy. Nope, he's going to get what he gets. Went and fucking gave it to him, and I'm proud of him, and I'm glad he did it.
Well, certain things are off limits, man. Like your wife.
Yes.
Your wife and your
You
kid.
don't talk or touch somebody's wife. You do that. There's no going back from that. There's no, you know what I mean? We're not going to talk about this. Shit's going to happen. I mean, that's rule 1, man. That's on that.
Well, remember also the fucking comic that punched me in the face at the haha that I ended up like hitting a bunch of times afterwards, blah, blah. Like a year later, he comes to me, he's like, "Hey man, are we cool?" Like, no, we're not cool. You come up to me, fucking blindside me and punch me in the face, give me 6 stitches. We're never going to be cool, ever. Like that's it. You put your hands on me, like, that's it. Like, we're never, ever going to be cool. Like, ever. Like, first of all, you can kill someone doing that. I mean, you could literally, there have been so many times I've read stories where guy gets to a fight, one buddy hits the other guy, dude falls the wrong way, hits his head, he's either in hospital for life, or he's fucking, that's it, you know? And like, that's it. There's things that you can't come back from. This whole like, I'm sorry culture, nah, man, fuck that. Like, certain things you can't fucking be. Anyway, all right, let's talk about a couple other things.
Sorry.
So, Paddy Pimblett is, you know, remember Paddy, they call him the next big thing, the guy from England, the guy from, he's like a McGregor. The guy looks like one of the guys in Oasis or like Scooby-Doo's friend. He has that long hair. He fought. He ended up kicking the guy's ass. He was getting his ass kicked at first. He came back and won. Anyway, he's fighting Donald Cerrone coming up.
Oh, okay. That's a good fight then.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough fight for Donald, but I mean, so hopefully Cerrone, like, you know, beats him. What was your favorite moment of 2021, Don, in fighting wise?
Fight-wise? Oh, not seeing any of the Tyron Woodley.
Yes, that's right. Fuck yeah. That's an achievement. We're just ignoring all that bullshit. I'm glad the crowd booed them, and I hope nobody pays for any of their shit again. I hope they've realized that it's just total bullshit now.
What was your favorite moment, Greg?
It was definitely Madison Square Garden, getting to see the Usman, what's his name, fight?
Colby
Covington fight. That whole card was a fantastic card. All the fights are great, from the early prelims to the headlining match. And especially the Chandler Gaethje fight, which opened the card, which to me, that was a headliner fight and just a dynamite fight. That was absolutely the pinnacle of 2021 fighting for me.
I think that was definitely the fight of the year. My favorite moment was Juliana Pena winning against Nunes, because everybody said she was going to get her ass kicked. She shouldn't.
See, for me, that was the lowest, because all I could hear was fucking McCorkle and, you know, all the money he didn't bet on her because she was like plus 950. All I could see was, no, fucking no. Oh, shit. McCorkle's going to be so mad.
That was a rocky story. I remember telling my wife, like, nobody thinks Juliana could win except for Juliana, and me, and a couple other people. But that's the only thing that matters. That's all that matters is the person in there, you know, and a couple other people like that. Even that, like the fact that no one thought she could win and she came out and won. Don, did anyone think you could beat Ken Shamrock?
Yeah. Mostly everybody did, you know.
But were you the favorite or the underdog?
Shit, partner. I think I was the favorite. You know, the Japanese crowd. I was not the favorite. We both had the same management, and I was not their favorite for sure. You know, they had everything bet on Ken.
Yeah, I mean, how did you learn? He had so many submissions. How did you learn how to get out of all those submissions?
Well, fuck, when you learn how to do them, then you know how to get out of them. You know, I mean, it's just one of the byproducts of learning the move.
Yeah.
But you weren't known for your grappling. I mean, you were known for your striking. You were known for your wrestling. And he was like the most dangerous man. He knew like the man of 10,000 submissions and shit. I still can't believe when you didn't tap to that like toe hold or leg lock. I mean, how painful was that, Don?
It was a heel hook, you big dummy.
Yeah, heel hook. Right.
It was painful. It still hurts today.
Wow.
Still hurts today. That's it.
But like during the time, did you know that like was your heel was it broken?
No. Just the ankle. The ankles were broken. You know, but just like I said, just a hairline fracture. Just a flesh wound.
There you go. Just a flesh wound. Jesus Christ.
Did you hear a pop at all or no?
Yeah, you can hear him pop. Yeah.
And then you
can really feel it. You can feel it too. You know.
So, but, and then, yeah.
But you got so much adrenaline going, you know, at the time, you really don't feel it. You know, you don't concentrate on it. But you know, I strutted out of the arena. But once we got through the curtain, you know, I'd grab my two of my guys, you know, and they had literally drugged me back to the locker room, you know, my feet were just, you know, like two skis, you know.
Oh. Wow.
That's fucking crazy. I mean,
that's happened to me after shows, but that's because That's because the weed and the alcohol hit at the same time. And I thought, I got to do my closer and get the fuck off this stage before I fall off it.
That happened to me in Modesto when I didn't know what 151 was. And the crowd kept buying me shots at 151 while I was on stage.
Ooh.
And I'm out of it. Like I don't think I can get the last 5 minutes out. So did you guys watch the Black Beast fight?
No. All I saw was the little video that McCorkle sent of him taking off his shorts. I guess he took off his shorts in the ring, and Michael Buffer was just like laser eye fucking him, just like
Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer was just like, oh.
So the Black Beast, okay, he took out his cop, his cop. He beat a cop. This guy Daukus. It was a good fight. It was one of those things where I kind of had a feeling that was going to happen because the way to not beat the Black Beast is go punch for punch. You're never going to go punch for punch with this guy. You have to either wrestle him or just kind of like Cyril Gahn, just circle, and just hit him and just get away from him and tire him out and frustrate him. You go punch for punch with this guy, you're going to lose almost every time. And that's what happened. The guy was like, all right, let's see how we can do against him. And he got knocked out. Bilal Muhammad beat Stephen Thompson. Thompson may need to hang it up. I hate to say it. He's a good fighter, and I think he'll beat a lot of guys, but I don't know. I mean, but Bilal Muhammad is right there. Angela Hill, I thought won and got fucked again. It's like her fourth different split decision that she lost. Cub Swanson ran through Darren Elkins. I mean, he destroyed Darren Elkins. And Elkins is a tough guy, and Cub made it look easy. And then there was a guy named Dontel Mays. He beat Parisian. He had him down at the end and started humping his face, almost trying to like knock him out with his cup. Yeah.
And how did Bruce Buffer react to that?
Yeah. He climbed over the cage. He stormed the cage. Next, me next.
Dude, let me see if I can find it.
Me next.
And the guy that I actually hold on, and the guy that it happened to, I like posted like this guy really, because the guy who did it was a black guy. I go, well, he's really using a 6-inch reach advantage. And the guy and then the guy he did it to was like, that was me under there, and I was yelling, what the fuck?
I bet. I'd be like, hey, are you trying to fight me or fuck my mouth? What the fuck are you doing?
It was so funny.
It's called the hot dog submission.
I don't even know how I feel about this. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Hold on. So I wish Don could see this. All right, ready? All right. So yeah. Let me know what you think of this submission right here. Ready?
I don't wish I could see it.
Oh my God!
It's unique, creative strike.
I mean, okay, Don, just so you know, they're in North-South, so they're already 69ing, and he is straight stall fucking this guy.
Football. And nothing goes better with football than turkey and betting. BetOnline has you covered all holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. Okay? BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this Thanksgiving. You got to head to their new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with promo code CLNS50 to receive your bonus. It's not just football. Okay? BetOnline has pro and college hoops. They got NHL, they got boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports. BetOnline, we're stuffed with deals this Thanksgiving. All right, let's get back to the podcast. All right. Okay, I got to start. Yeah.
I'd make that call.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Stop the video.
Yeah, go on. All right, ready. And yeah, what did you think of that, Greg?
Wait, Don, what were you saying?
How do the announcers make the call on that? You know,
they go, what is this? Then I think Bisping goes, he's being very creative with his striking.
Next time, I'm just going to tell my wife that. I'll be like, what are you doing? I'll be like, I'm being creative with my striking.
Dude, the comments I got just on my Instagram alone on that, like, so hold on. If you follow me at Adam Comedian, because I like posted that, and some of the comments were so funny, especially from like black people have the funniest comments on Instagram. Somebody goes, the guy who goes, that's me under there, literally yelled, "What the fuck?" The guy that happened to. A lot of bruh. He goes, Jay Phillips goes, "Hell no, what part of the game is that?" A lot of things. He goes, "Fight," they said. "It'll be fun," they said.
Well, it's almost like, who was it that was throwing shoulder strikes? They had him pin him against the fence. We're legit punching him with the shoulder. It's almost like he took a cue from that. It was like, oh yeah, I'll just use my dick.
Somebody goes, "You're not allowed to groin strike," but they didn't say you couldn't strike with your groin.
Pretty much, exactly.
He goes, "They should have checked his oil at the same time. I hear that makes for an explosive finish." Someone said face fucks aren't illegal.
Apparently not. Oh my God.
Submission by front face skull fuck. Talk about being skull fucked. What kind of move is this? Ayo. That's the cup of death. 6 foot long. Someone said, "I'm tapping." Yeah, he goes, he lives up by either fuck him up or you just fuck him.
Either fuck him up or you just fuck him. Oh my God. I love yours. Yours is still the best. You really use that 6-inch reach advantage. Yeah. Boom. Yours is still you're the best joke writer in the business, brother.
Man, that
you're
was
the best joke writer in the business.
Like literally, I was dying laughing though. Like imagine like you didn't watch MMA and you just would see that. Like, what the fuck?
And listen, it's bad enough. So especially when a fight is like all clinching on the ground the whole time. And then when they get into north-south, it's just like, oh, come on, guys. I'm trying to eat a fucking nachos here. And then it's like, okay, forget it. I can't. That's just it's a bit much. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Amanda Nunez is gonna steal that move, and use it the next time.
Hey, it was effective. I mean, I liked how the guy that it happened to, Parisian, was like,
that he jumped in on the combo. I was like, that was me under there. I was like, what the fuck? He should have bit it. He should have just bit it as hard as he could.
I mean, would you have blamed him? I don't know if I would.
No, I would have. Listen, prison rules at that point. Jeez.
Yeah. That was rough. I mean, but it was entertaining as shit, though.
If you don't get the fight bonus for that.
So anyway, have you got the booster shot, Greg?
Of course.
Yeah. Now, what do you? I was going to get it today. What do you got to do? Just walk into any Rite Aid or CVS?
Yeah, pretty much. Just go in there, show them your card that you're already, you have to bring your card with you. Bring your original vax card with you because they have to fill it out, for the third shot. And that shows that you've already had the other two. And then they just fill out the thing and then you get it. It's really not that big a deal. Keep in mind, though, day 2 on this is much like day 2 of shot 2, which is you really feel it the next day. For most people, some say they feel nothing. I was wiped out the next day, but just for the one day and then you're fine.
Do you need an appointment?
No, you do not.
Okay, got it. Don, did you get yours?
I'm going to plead the fifth on this.
Yeah. He got a shot of whiskey and followed it with a shot of tequila.
I like how Sean McCorkle takes shots of everything but COVID. Everything but the COVID shot, but the whatever, vaccine. Everything but the vaccine. Now, by the way, on that ship, though, like a lot of people were getting by the way, this guy that gave me the intro, so the main guy in charge of the comedy club, he went to the bathroom. So they had some other guy fill in. Those are always the best because the guy goes, hey, everybody, the main guy had to go to the bathroom. This next comic, he goes, make sure you get your vaccine. I don't want you guys to be dead by New Year's, right?
Oh, my God.
It was like a black guy from South Africa, from Zimbabwe. Black guy from Zimbabwe. He had like an accent. It was hilarious. And then he goes, this next comic, He's been on some stuff. Give it up. I was like, oh my God. So I just made fun of him for 5 minutes. I go, here's what just happened. The guy goes, this guy's taking a shit. You're all going to die tomorrow.
Yeah. And here's your next comic who's done something.
Yeah, it's like, what? The best, there was one guy one time at the Haha, this Mexican comic. I go, hey man, can you just tell him I was on Comics Unleashed? He goes, this next comic was on a leash. I go, what?
Jesus Christ.
Like, what's the worst intro you've ever gotten?
Oh, geez. So many bad ones. Let me try and think about that for a minute. Oh, no. Okay. So when I was going by the Greg Wilson, okay, you know, it was a brand thing. It wasn't supposed to be, it was just a brand because Greg Wilson's such a common name. The Greg Wilson was supposed to be the comedian. So I would tell people, like, just be sure and say the part. So most of the time when I had to tell them that, they would get there and go, so this guy apparently wants me to introduce him as the Greg Wilson. So here he is, the Greg Wilson. I got that quite a bit.
Oh, that's annoying.
By the same token, if I did great, I always knew how well I did by the way they would recap my name at the end. Because they needed to come up and be like, the Greg Wilson. Or they'd come up and go, Greg Wilson, everybody. That was Greg Wilson.
Oh, my God. There was one time I bombed so bad early on. I think it was Liam McNeely.
McNeely, yeah.
He was a nice guy, but I did some alternative show, and he goes, I bombed so bad. He goes, give it up for Adam Hunter. Good-looking guy. Like, that was I couldn't even get mad. I was like, that was kind of funny. But like, I never shut on people after they bomb. I just, it's happened to me, and I like, you know, so I don't, no matter how bad it does, I'm just like.
I used to all the time in the comedy contest. I used to host a comedy contest at the Haha, and only because Terry loved it. Terry, the owner, thought it was hilarious when I would make fun of these noobs who thought they were all superstars. Yeah. And so, you know, they would get up there. I mean, they'd have so much attitude, and then they would get up there and tank. And Terry just loved it when I would, because essentially I had to save the show 14 times in a row, you know? And so I would do it by just kind of making fun of what just happened. Dude, and the more I did it, the more Terry loved it. So I just kept doing it.
I mean, it is funny, dude. I was booked one time on, it was a gospel comedy show in New York City. It was me, Bill Burr, and Hamburger.
A perfect gospel show.
And it was at CV. I forgot. It was in New York at BB King's on Easter Sunday, right? And some guy named Faceman or something. Anyway, so this woman came on and sang "Swing Low, Sweet," and she was black woman. She was so bad, like it was like painful, like her voice was horrible, but it was like, wow. But you couldn't say anything because it was like Easter, whatever.
Easter, yeah. And she's trying to be all, you know.
Somebody carry me home, right? So then Hamburger goes on after he goes, will somebody just carry her home? Just get her a cab. Get her out of here. She thought it was horrible. Dude, the crowd was people were crying, like rolling around. Like, and she's like, you're the devil. She got really mad. But
I'm sure.
It was so funny. I mean, that was just beyond.
Nothing goes with Easter like stand-up comedy. Nothing's funnier than Jesus raising from the dead than throwing some jokes at it. Let's just throw some jokes at people's most sacred day. Whoever booked that show was stupid.
I did a show one time I forgot where it was. It was in like upstate New York. It was a college sponsored by the Cancer Society. And they had a video of all these kids who had cancer. And at the end, they all died. It was like a 5-minute video. Oh. And it just had like their names. It was like 3-year-olds dying of cancer. And then they're like, they brought me up. The lights went on. Everyone was fucking crying. Like the whole crowd. I was like, what the fuck? Maybe we should play this after the show. Like I couldn't think of a worse time for comedy.
I went up at one, and it was a corporate event, and the catering was completely fucked. And the woman comes backstage and goes, okay, some of the people are still eating. Some have finished their food. Some are still waiting for food. Everybody's angry. Let's just start the show. I was like, this sounds great. This is going to go great.
Perfect crowd. Yeah.
Yeah. What a life.
Thanks for the warm-up, getting them in the mood. Yeah, really. Fuck. Let's go over great.
Exactly. Everyone's pissed. Everyone's mad. Let's just start the show.
Me and Esau McCraw did a show one time, and it was in like Riverside on New Year's Eve, and there was a fight. A fight broke out in the crowd. Like literally two people started like throwing down. And then Esau was on stage, started doing commentary, like, "Oh, good left hook by like right hand." He goes in for a double. Like he actually did commentary during the fight. Actually, it's like you got to be fucking kidding.
I had that happen, and I didn't know what to do. But then, of course, I recapped it. What happened like 4 times. That was actually on my YouTube. A fight breaks out in the crowd. It's a lot of fun. It's quite it was an epic riff afterwards. It went on for like 40 minutes.
So according to Chris Weidman, as well as Sean O'Malley, Tyron Woodley's legacy is tarnished now because of the Jake Paul fights.
Yeah, but it was already ruined from his singing video.
He had a legacy?
He was a UFC champion. He beat Robbie Lawler. He beat a lot of guys. He beat Damian Maia. He had a legacy.
But you know what? Fuck his legacy. He's sitting on $4 million. He can buy a new legacy, and that's what. Yeah. And that's all he's thinking right now. Like, okay, well, goodbye, dudes. You can come visit me in my gated community. Thank you, legacy.
Yeah, but he had money though. He had money. It wasn't like he was dead broke. I mean, he had.
So you think? I mean, it seems like I'm sure. And again, I'm sure he made as much in those fights as he made his entire MMA UFC career.
Right. I mean, but what do you think that as far
if not more, he probably made more.
Right. But he was looking at like, he was talking to me about having like TV shows and movies and all this other stuff. Do you think that's still up? Like he can still do that? You think people are still
Well, he hasn't done it yet. So I don't think any of that stuff came to fruition.
Right. He was in a couple movies.
I mean, that was the stuff that was when he was hot. When he was hot, that shit. But I mean, now he's just a retired fighter. So I mean, he took a couple of big paychecks on the way out. He isn't the kind of like champion that you're going to remember, right off the top of great fighters in UFC. So I don't think he gives a shit. I think he's going to be sitting there counting his money, going, "Fuck my legacy."
So a guy in the NFL, Le'Veon Bell, right?
Yeah.
So he called out Jake Paul during the fight. He said, "Fight someone that can really box like me." Everyone that hates the guy. Did he get domestic violence or something? What happened with him?
Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah.
No, he just kind of ruined his own career by sitting out a season to get a bigger contract, and then came back and was terrible.
So now they're trying to make him versus Tyron Woodley in boxing. Who wins? That? Who wins that fight?
No one.
Sure ain't the fucking audience for it.
Now Jake Paul said he will sign Le'Veon Bell versus Tyron Woodley. Any thoughts on that? No?
You know what? I would like to see it just to see if Tyron Woodley throws more punches. Because the more he fights that actual guy, the more you know how rigged the other fights were.
Yeah, right. And then also Kimbo Slice Jr. got signed to do celebrity boxing. He's looking for an opponent. Wide neck that'll fight him. I think. He actually had fights though in Bellator. He's a pretty decent fighter. He'll just kill Wide neck. But they're looking for someone to fight Kimbo Slice. Kimbo Slice Jr.
This is so stupid.
What?
This isn't real. It's so dumb. This is what it's created. This is what the Jake Paul thing is created. Okay, yeah. So let's get, I was about to say, let's get Horseshack, but they actually did a fight with Horseshack. He
died. He's dead.
He's dead now. I know, but he did one of those stupid celebrity boxing things too. Yeah, him and Dustin Diamond, who's also dead now.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like this is just stop it.
All right, there's a thread going on. Is Brock Lesnar the least skilled heavyweight Division I champion in history?
Yes.
What do you think? Thoughts? Don?
Yeah, I don't know. Are you talking about as a college wrestler or as a fighter? What?
The thread is, okay, I saw the underground. He goes, Brock Lesnar, is he the least skilled? He's super roided. Did he win this fucking title with pure power and fear? All the videos he's so far, someone waiting for someone to attack him. I'll keep looking. I mean, he was crazy skilled wrestling wise, right? He had jiu-jitsu. Right. His striking was pretty bad. But
I think he had the fortunato of coming into it when the heavyweight division was still pretty thin. You know, I mean, a lot of the really good heavyweights were aging out. There were very few new ones coming in. So he got he kind of had this great window of opportunity. And the only thing we learned was that he couldn't take a punch to the face.
Well, he beat Randy Couture, who beat a lot of great guys.
Yeah, but a lot of it was him just laying on them. He would pin him against the fence.
Randy, he actually outstruck. He actually landed a big one on Randy. And then he beat Frank Mir.
Right, when he pinned him down and beat his face like a fucking, made it look like hamburger. But again, a lot of it was just him using his weight to pin guys down. I don't know. I would say he didn't have a lot of great all-around skill because when he did get punched in the face, he folded like a fucking cheap table. So
because he didn't train with Don Frye. Don would have fucking, he could have trained with Don. He was there. He was in Arizona, and then Mark Kirk kicked Don out of the room. Some bullshit.
So dumb,
right, Don?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why they consider him the least skilled.
You know what? Think about that though. If Don had trained him, he might be one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time.
Yeah, that's true. So
he would have learned real skills, real MMA fighting, and he could have been a long time reigning champion, setting a record for wins. I mean, if he would have just done that, but he went out there and just tried to bully people, took a couple shots to the face and fell apart. So
Dan Hooker and John Jones are going at it. Basically,
what do you mean, like that north-south face fuck thing, like that?
All right. So after Chael Sonnen got detained. John Jones, right, Chael, I'm not going to sit here and celebrate you getting battery charges against a female last night. That would make me like you. Not like you. That would make me like you.
Yeah.
And I'm nothing like you. Instead, I will wish your family well. I wish the victim's family well, too, right? That's sort of like, So then Dan Hooker writes, I was triggered by your disingenuous attempt to bring attention to Chael's situation. He was arrested for defending his wife. You were arrested for assaulting yours, right? So
yeah, and you also can't be the bigger man by announcing that you're going to be the bigger man. That's not how being the bigger man works. If you're going to be the bigger man, you just don't say anything. You don't be the bigger man going, I could say this, but I'm not saying. But I could say it, but I'm not saying. That's not how that works.
So then Jones writes, every opportunity you've had yourself to make closer to your boy Izzy, you would drop the ball. You can't achieve greatness, so you hop online and attack someone who has. Sounds about right. So then Dan Hooker wrote, life hack. If you don't beat your wife, family events will be more enjoyable. Merry Christmas, bitch.
He's not wrong though. That holds water. That bears weight. That's true. That's very true.
And then Dan, I guess, has fought at heavyweight.
Years too.
Yeah. What would you say? What'd you say, Don?
I think you'll probably have more of them throughout the years too.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's
true story.
That's a really weird feud though. Dan Hooker. So then someone wrote a thing. You get arrested for beating your wife. I get detained for beating someone who beats their wife. We are not the same. John Jones can't win, man. I mean, he's got to just shut up and fight. And,
he really, exactly. He doesn't have a leg to stand on in any of these arguments.
Like stop with the Twitter, stop with the tweets. Enough is enough. He's a great fighter, and he might be a good person. I haven't met him, and he was real nice to me. But from all the shit, alcohol's not his friend. Drugs are not his friend. Let's get sober and let's fight.
Well, I mean, he's another guy that again could have been one of the greatest champions ever. Could have had the longest run of defending his title, but instead got distracted by everything outside of the ring, and it destroyed his career.
But he still is also 34 years old. He's still young. I mean, when you look at some of these, and he didn't take nearly the damage
that a lot of these older fighters who are still fighting took. I mean, he didn't take hardly any damage, really. So if he got himself together, he could absolutely still fight at the highest level.
Imagine having 3 boys and 2 are in the NFL and 1 is the champion of UFC. I mean, how talented is that fucking family?
No kidding.
That's a family and a half. Like, as far as
get me pregnant, please. I want to have a little meal ticket. Fuck yeah.
Oh my, get you pregnant. God. If you were, I don't even know how to even start this. What to even say that. So what are you doing for New Year's, Greg?
I will be at the comic strip in El Paso trying not to get COVID. So that's what I'll be doing. That seems to be the big challenge. It looks like you managed to survive the ship without getting COVID, so that's good. I mean, I've done some shows. I took the London trip, which that was very risky, that show I did in London. That was 250 people packed in a tiny little basement room. Like, it was just no mask going, So, I mean, I was like, if I'm getting it here. But I managed to not. And so far, so good. So hopefully I can manage to dodge a few bullets in El Paso too.
It seems like this variant isn't as dangerous, though.
Right, it isn't. It doesn't seem to be as violent on your body, but easier to get. It seems highly transmissible.
But they said no Americans have died. Like, more Americans have died from Alec Baldwin than of this variant.
You've been saving that one? Was that
yes.
All weekend? You've been saving that?
I thought of it today.
I throw that one away.
Really?
Thank you, Don.
I figured Don would like that. Don didn't like that. Of all the people.
We're working on the delivery on that or something. I don't know.
I don't think delivery was the problem.
It just didn't go over with a bang like you thought it would.
Of course. Don, what do you got for New Year's? What are you doing?
I'm either going to go up to Denver or go back over to San Diego. So it's a coin toss in this moment.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What do you got going on?
I got shows in Cabo, the Cabo Comedy Club, which, Greg, let me know if I can help get you in there.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to go down and do that. Is that
the Roosevelt guy?
Oh, okay. It's the same guy. Okay. Yeah. I would love to get involved with both. So that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So
1,000%. I'll see him on Thursday. So I'm doing the Cabo Comedy Club.
I was wondering because I know there's a comic we both know who's been doing shows down there. So I didn't know if this was his new venture or not.
I'm doing their show. I got in trouble almost. But I get booked more in Cabo than Hollywood.
I was going to say, because weren't you just down there doing shows?
I'm there January 30th. I'm at the other Cabo place. I'm just like, what am I going to do? Say no to Cabo? Someone says, hey,
no, go have a ball. Absolutely.
It's not up to me to. It's not
they want him to come back and return the silverware.
All right. Well,
I love you. You've turned into a drug mule. You just keep getting booked I just keep getting booked in Cabo. I don't know. They hand me these 2 suitcases. They tell me to bring them back to the United States, and that's it.
Yeah, there's a female comedian who I love, an older female comic who's been on everything, yada, yada. She's working on a cruise ship. And she's like, hey, I got off in, like, Ensenada. She's like, can you get me some of these drugs? I was like, all right. Then I'm like, fuck, like, I'm bringing them back on the ship. I'm like, I might get arrested. And she's not going to be like, oh, by the way, I fucking tossed them. I'm like, I'm out of fucking mind.
Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah, the answer is no, I can't. I have a family.
I didn't think about it until after I'm like, they're doing security. I'm like, there's dogs. I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
are her initials L.A.?
No, it's TV.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's funny though. Have a great New Year. You guys are the best. Take care.
Love you guys. Take care.
Love you guys.